The Kesheg is another weapon that you have to complete the War Within to actually be able to build. There's nothing saying that you can't buy it beforehand with 180 platinum, but if you do want to build this, the blueprint is inside of the Grenier lab or the Chem lab, and you do need resources that only drop after you have done the War Within quest to get. And I actually said in the update video that the Guardians were carrying the... what's it called? The broken scepter, which is one of the weapons you get for completing the quest. It's not, it's this they're carrying. It's just the two look kind of similar. It's just this one looks more, let's say, bland. Oh wow, I actually positioned that really well. It doesn't interfere with the melee weapon. Either that or the clipping has had it so this is in the foreground the whole time. Anyway, doesn't look that bad of a weapon. Does come with, a V polarity. And I just really need to know what is this classed as. It is a pole arm weapon, and it uses Shimmering Blight, which I would prefer that one, but oh well. But it is classed as a pole arm, so it's not a staff, it is a pole arm. The really more kind of annoying part of the Kesheg is there's also a weapon once you complete the War Within quest called the Broken Scepter. You can only get it from completing the War Within. And I thought, oh, I'll do the video for the Kesheg first because you don't have to do the War Within. This may have been a good thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing because unfortunately this does more damage than the Broken Scepter does. The Broken Scepter might have 1.25 attack speed and this has got a 0.833, but the Broken Scepter also has 30% status versus this thing's 10 and 10% crit chance versus this thing's 7.5. So it's kind of, I don't know, the Broken Scepter is... the two weapons are pretty much identical. Well, almost. Visually, they're almost identical. One belongs to the Queen and one belongs to the Queen's God. But the Kesheg in itself does a really nice amount of damage. It is just seriously let down by the fact that crit building it at 7.5%, it will eventually start to crit, but you have to get that combo counter up really high. And it's same if you go for a status build. You've got to get that combo counter up there pretty high before it starts to kick in, as long as you have something like Weeping Wounds in there. Or... is it Weeping Wounds I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem to work as much. It makes up for this by an okay kind of physical damage to it, being 52.5 slash and 42 impact with a 10.5 puncture, at least when it starts off. This is better than some of the other weapons that are around, but it's trying to figure out if this thing is actually worth keeping a hold of, when if you think about it, is it the Lesion? Okay, it's got 20 impact over this thing's 42 impact, but it's got 75 slash over this thing's 52.5. And the reading for this, when you go to actually equip it, it says slice through enemy mobs or unruly enemies. So it's slice through mobs or unruly enemies. You can't really slice through them if there's other weapons that have more slash to them. And of course the lower attack speed is kind of a letdown to this. But the fact that it does more physical damage than the Broken Scepter is its kind of saving point. It doesn't have the best of range. I tried fitting Primed Reach in there, and honestly, I didn't want to put a former into this until I've played a bit more with this versus the Broken Scepter, because, well, visually, again, they look alike, and this thing was actually not that bad of a weapon. It really saved my butt on the survival mission, which is either playing in the background now or was playing previously. Because went in there and completely forgot that I, for one, was doing a nightmare mission, hence the reason I was using Rhino, but it just kind of chopped through everything, like it wasn't there. Most of the time this thing was one-shotting almost everything, and the build I had on it was kind of pants. And I wasn't kidding when I said pants. I put Shocking Touch and Fever Strike to throw corrosive on it. I went for the Drifting Contact, which increases the timer as well as body count between the blows. Normal Reach, Buzzkill to increase the slash, so it only took it to 305. And yeah, this will be worked on over time. This is just what I had on it when doing this. And it was kind of okay. I can see a lot more damage being capable of pulled out of this thing. It's just the fact that it's seriously let down by that attack speed. I mean, 0.833 is ridiculously low for attack speed, which is just the major downside of this, especially when the Broken Scepter that's obtained after the War Within, and of course you had to kind of do the War Within to get those machines to spawn, to get the resource to build this anyway. So they're all kind of tied in together, so I can't decide whether this was actually better than the Broken Scepter. I mean, physical damage wise, yes, put in a Primed Fury and the attack speed goes up. But it just, because it lacks in status and crit, I just think the Broken Scepter is going to be better than this.